I'm standing here at Gideon Springs, a place we first visited in the 2017 tour, and now we're back again this year. It's a very significant place. Our people can actually lap the water like the Gideon's 300 did. But this was a place where we learned some tremendous, tremendous lessons about how God works. The people of Israel had been downtrodden by foreign countries because of their sin. And because of their sin and God withdrew his hand of blessing, other nations came in and just impoverished the people and destroyed anything that the people could have to eat and just totally impoverished the people. And finally the people cried out to God. And then God began a series of actions that brought deliverance. God's first action was to send a prophet. And that prophet delivered a prophecy reminding the people of Israel, look at all the good things I've done for you, and look at what your sin has brought you. When the people responded to the prophet of God, then God began to raise up a deliverer for them, a man that God would use to bring great deliverance to the people of Israel. And that man was a man by the name of Gideon, a fearful young man who was hiding in the bottom of a wine press, threshing his wheat out of fear, just trying to keep the little bit that he had. And God walked up to him there in Judges chapter 6 and said, and this was God, this was the pre-incarnate Christ, the angel of the Lord, looked at him and said, hello, mighty warrior. Now, Gideon looked at that and must have thought, excuse me, mighty warrior, I'm hiding down here in the bottom of a wine press. But there's a thing that you and I need to see, and some of you have a call of God upon your life, and God is raising you up to bring deliverance to his people. God is raising you up to bring revival, to bring great revival to our nation. And God is speaking to you, and you're saying, but I'm nothing, because you've been listening to everybody else. You've taken too many Christian personality exams to tell you that this is your ministry based on who you have been. But all those personality tests can do is tell you who you have been and tell you where you are today. They can't tell you what God's destiny is for your life. If you would have given Gideon a personality exam at this point or test your spiritual giftings, he would have never been considered a great leader. He was a fearful, timid man. But God saw potential. And God sees potential in some of you today. And God is speaking to you, and God is calling you things that nobody has ever called you before. And God is speaking things that nobody has ever spoken to you before, because God sees the potential within you. Now, there are some things that you're going to have to do. Yes, I admit. You're going to have to conquer your fear. He said, Gideon, thank you for the beautiful offering you brought me. Now do it a second time, but this time destroy the Ashereth pole and destroy the altar to Baal. Destroy these demon gods. Destroy these altars to these demon gods. Draw a demarcation line. Let yourself be forever marked by who you are. And he was. When he destroyed his father's altar Baal and cut down the Ashereth pole and burned a sacrifice to God for the second offering of that day, from that point on, he was known as the one that Baal will fight with. Yeah. He drew a demarcation line, and from that day forward, God began to use him. So if God is speaking to your heart today, God is calling you into leadership to bring deliverance and revival to the church, I want to challenge you today. First of all, listen to God. Listen to what God says about you. Don't pay any attention to your past. That's where you've been. And please don't pay any attention to your present. That's who you are now. Pay attention to what God is calling you, because that's your destiny. That's who you're becoming. And when God speaks to you, I want you to take these actions. And you go, God, that's going to cause trouble. That's exactly right. God is making you draw a demarcation line to show that you stand with God.